How are we going, everyone? Just deadheading the roses. This is going to be the third flush of flowers. If you remember in the past, I said how our horse got in here. Krishna ate all the tops off, ate all the wonderful flowers, done a great job. You can see now they've all spent their flowers, and I've let this go a little bit long, meaning to cut them back, so we've got to deadhead all this. Now you can cut back a couple of buds. So from the top, for example, flushes of flowers, you can see new growth coming up there, or there as well. So, and look here, 3 spots. So you'll notice that the plant will push on its new growth. Depending on where you cut it last, if I cut it here, that will actually become the prominent new growth on it, where the flower spike buds will develop. If I cut it lower, it'll grow there. Now, why I didn't cut it down there is because it's going to grow into the middle. Even here's a little bit high for me. And see this one here as well? See that? If I cut it there, that's great, but it's already way above the bush line. That's not where I want it to be. You can say deadheading only requires you to take off the tips, which is fine, but this will make this plant too big. If I cut it there, it'll just keep stretching. So I'm going to cut it back down. Now, if I cut it back down to the next one, see how it's alternating back towards the center? That's growing out, which is great. This is growing in here, which is not too bad. That one's a bad one to grow out to, or we can get the new growth to come out of here. So if I leave it there, this will continue. And in hindsight, you'd say, well, it's already started. Just leave it there, or cut it back there because it's already started. But I don't like any of them, so I'm going to force it to push out from down there. Now that is too low by comparison to this. That's too high. So you can cut it back down as well. So you can keep cutting all the way back down and reduce the overall size to a knuckle if you like. See there's new growth there? This is purely for the demonstration. This is too low now, but for the purpose of what you need to understand is alternating leaves will give you different types of growth. You can leave both on, both will develop, or I can cut this right back down to here again. So I'm going to deadhead all these. See there, there's another one, nice example of how the growth is coming on. You can just cut it off there, I'll pick that up afterwards. The same here, that's growing back into the center. I'd rather cut it back out to the outside. So it's just above the bud line. I'm risking this, I can't see what I'm doing, there we are. About 1/2 centimetre, or not even, above there on a slight angle, new growth will come out there. And I'm going to continue to do this all the way around. This one, that one there. These two actually didn't get eaten, my apologies, now I remember correctly. Krishna ate all the others, which I went along and deadheaded, and you can see all the new growth and buds coming on now. The other thing I didn't mention, well, I have mentioned in the past, but I didn't do here in this case, is fertilise. So they missed out on their feed. They're gross eaters or feeders. They need to be fed every time you prune them because they take so much energy to push on all that growth, and so in such a little time, you need to get the fertiliser in there so you can get the microbes activated. And because I didn't do that, the roots became slightly weak and the plant became susceptible to black spot. And we had the high humidity, yes, but you can see these ones here on the outskirts of this bed haven't been fertilised, slightly lighter in colour, whereas that one there has had a better feed at the base. So that's telling me that the microbe activity, the microbial flora around the base of that root zone is doing tremendously well. So that's very active, whereas these ones here are very thin in the middle. They've got some nice sort of leafy greens coming on at the moment, as you can see here. That's okay, but a good feed with superfood to build up the colony of microbes and fungi in the soil, and this plant will green up beautifully. And to activate it, you need the Eco Butch, which is a stimulant, basically a biostimulant, to activate all the microflora in the soil. So prune your roses back, deadhead them if you haven't already done so, clean them up, clean secateurs, use your methane water spray to sterilise them between one prune and the other. Fertilise. You don't have to spray for fungicides, a fungicide for fungal problems, rust and mildew and black spot. You shouldn't have to if your plants are well fed. I've got rust, I've got black spot on here, high humidity, lack of activity. We're going to feed them. Superfood is available in pellets and in a fine fertiliser form. Apply that and liquid feed to activate. So clean your roses, sit back and enjoy the beautiful blooms, and don't forget to feed your garden. That's right. Keep it natural, keep it organic, and keep it clean, and that way you know what goes in and what comes out of there, and you share with your family and friends. Check out vasilisgarden.com. We've got some great specials every day. Superfood is discounted, so you can get some at home and trial it out for yourself and let us know how you go. From me, Vasili, Maresi.